So welcome everyone, happy days are here again. We're here with a new tech review for the Philips Hue Go 2.0 portable light. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what on earth this is, but I'll talk about some of the finer details in a moment. But the most important thing to know if you're interested in this is to be careful because there are two versions and both of them are still on sale at the moment. And what makes it even more ridiculous is, although there are two versions of this, they're both on sale for exactly the same price. In Britain, you're looking for about £69.99, but if you go to the Philips website and actually look, the 2.0 version, £69.99. If you want the first version, £69.99. That sums up Philips in one foul sweep. So what is the difference between the first gen and the second gen? Well, there are three key differences as far as what I can see. Now, to identify between the two, from the box alone, you're looking for that new version sticker. Well, it's not even a sticker, it's printed on, but the new version's what you need. Now, the three fundamental differences here are, one, it's Bluetooth app control. So the generation one, you have to have this connected to your local Wi-Fi to be able to use the app to control the colours. So if you're taking it out and about, you can't control the colours other than pressing the button. Whereas with this, your phone will connect to it via Bluetooth and you can mess around with the colours that way. The second key difference is the battery has been massively improved and upgraded in this one. So apparently the first one lasted anywhere between 45 minutes and 3 hours depending on what colour you have. Whereas this one will last anywhere between, I think it's 3 hours and 24 hours depending on what colour or setting or brightness you have. The final key difference is a bit of engineering. So as well as this being portable, you can also use it plugged in. So you could have it as a spotlight or, you could run it from a mains power adapter. However, my understanding is on the 2.0 version, the input of where it fits into the device, is the actual port has been moved. On the first gen, I think the port was very inconveniently placed. I think it was somewhere at the bottom, which meant that it didn't really stand properly with the cable attached. So that's enough talking for now. Let's take a look at the box and make some choices about this. So we've got the traditional Philips branding on the front, all the 16 million colours, believe it or not, that are available from here. Controlled by the app, of course. You don't have to press the button 16 million times to get different colours for this one. New version, of course, this is the thing you need to look out for. On the side, of course, it's got someone very holding this like it's a bit like a candle. Very, very nice. Got the picture on the side, another reminder it's a new version so you don't get mugged off. On the other side here, Bluetooth to set the mood so you can take it anywhere you like, control it from the app. If you can add it to the bridge, you can use it as a standard Hue light somewhere else. Of course, it's Bluetooth, Zigbee, you're going to need an app. I'm 99.9% sure you don't need a specific app for this like you do for the Sync box, but I'll let you know as soon as it's set up and it's ready to go. Checking out the back, I'm not going to read it all to you, you can read it for yourself, but they're really emphasising the Bluetooth because they know they done messed up on the first gen, not being able to do that. It's also got the voice control with A and Google Assistant, of course. You can press that button. I like that a lot. 50,000 presses before the button's going to give up. And it's got 520 lumens, so it's bright. Apparently, it's brighter than the first gen, but I can't remember what the lumens for the first gen is, so I can't compare it there. And on the bottom, we just got more information and more bump. So that's enough with the box. It's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time to open it up and have a look. Boom, cheeky cut. So I sliced open the plastic sticker there so we can get straight in and have a look. So the anticipation is killing me as we unhook it there, lift it up. Ooh, and immediately we're met with a reminder about the different battery life. So of course, depending how bright it is, what colour you choose, you're going to get different battery life out of it. So for a night light, you're going to get 24 hours worth of solid use. That's pretty good. And then it starts to go down as you use the different colours. So Energize, which is super bright, 2.5 hours. Now, I think, you can read it all for yourself there. But I do think that's quite interesting. I do think that's a massive leg up and advantage over the version 2.0 compared to 1.0. Let's get that cardboard out the way and see the goods inside. So lifting the cardboard up, we got just some empty flaps here, nothing of any interest. And we're met with the light itself. That's quite interesting because I think the pictures on here are actually quite misleading. Like, they must be using models with the smallest hands in the world, because I tell you what, in the picture on that side with that guy that was holding that light, it looked absolutely massive. Yeah, it's a bit smaller than I was expected. I'm sure there's a joke to be had here, but I'm not going to appeal to the lowest common denominator, and we're going to move on. So lifting this up here, a little bit of weight to it, not too bad. That's pretty important when it's portable, of course, because you don't want something that's massive, that's heavy when you're having to travel around with it. So let's put it to one side and see what else is inside. Again, I think there's another joke about the shape of this cardboard, but you know, we're a tasteful show here, so we're going to move this one out the way. Oh no, see what we see already? My old enemy, the instructions. We better have a look just for old time's sake, because you know what I think about reading. Hopefully there's plenty of pictures and colour, and oh, look at this. You know, it's more of a poster. Not that I'm going to stick this up, but let's have a look. So product control, one short press. So it cycles through some presets, which is pretty cool. On the product control, double press and hold. Goes reverse loop through the colours. So that's that must be scenes, and that there is colours itself. More pressing, long press goes into standby, goes down to there, and power save mode turns it off. Okay, so with the standby mode, you can reactivate it just by using the app. However, with the battery saving mode, you're going to have to press the button to reactivate it, which is pretty cool. At least it's got a battery saving mode, which is useful. So we can plug it in. Nice. Smart line management, full light output mode. Ooh, blinking red if it's low. That's pretty clever. Battery lives here. Look at this. Look at the respect I've been given those instructions. They don't all get that level of respect, do they? Massive groan. Looking at the rest of the instructions that are here, my goodness, that's thick. With all look at the font on here. Safety instructions: don't eat the light, don't hit people with the light, don't eat the batteries. Yeah, I ain't reading that, no way. So let's move this out the way. We need to have a look what's inside the cardboard next. I'm assuming it's going to be the plug and the cable. So yes, here he is. He's got it right. Oh, that seems a bit stuck. So that's moved out the way, nothing else in there, so let's get that here. So we've got ourselves our plug and our adapter to plug it in. Now immediately what stands out to me is a British socket, but that's obviously fine for us. But all the other Philips stuff that comes with plugs have the European socket as well. That's a bit of a cheapskate, especially as this is meant to be a travel device. Like, why would I want the European socket for the Hue Sync box, but not for this? I mean, that's absolutely baffling. I wonder if the European plug fits onto this. Dare I try it? Not sure about that. But we have the cable here. Let's untie it and see how long it is. Hopefully there's a bit of length on it, because it'd be nice to be able to use this plugged in as well as portable. I mean, my biggest use of the, my biggest thoughts about using this for the most part is to be portable. But you know, it might be nice to have it plugged in. So here we go. Get it untied. Let's have a look at the length of this. So, oh, love those anti-tangle cables. Oh my goodness, it is Tingle Tangle 1 2 3. So let's have a look. Probably 1 meter, maybe 2.5 meters, maybe 2. I'm going for 2.5 meters. Probably likely to be 3. So it's fair length on that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So it's time for your main event. So let's have a look at the light itself. Let's get the old cable ties out the way. Let's unsheath this bad boy and see it in person. So, initial thoughts: real like fine reflective plastic. I mean, that's going to get fingerprints all over it, but it does feel fairly premium. Obviously it's got to be this type of plastic to be able to get the lights through. I mean, if I press it, any residual charge? No residual charge. So I'm going to have to plug this bad boy in to charge before I can show you any more of it. Having a look at the back, so that's what I was talking about with the placement. So what you could do is you could have the cable plugged in there going to one side so it could sit properly, whereas I believe on the Gen 1 it was there right in the middle, so it's really inconvenient. We've got the resting stand there so it can stand up. Ta-da! And then we've got ourselves the button, so it's a clicky button. Yeah, nice. We've got a different feel to the rest of it. So what else can I say? I think we're going to need to leave it there, because I'm going to need to plug it in, charge it, play around with it to give you a proper review. Going to need to sync it up to the app and all that jazz. So I'm going to leave it there. For you, it's going to be an instantaneous return. But for me, maybe a day, a couple of days, something like that. So I'll see you on the flip side. Boom, cheeky edit, and I'm back. Like I said, I'd be back. It's 7 days later. I've had plenty of use of the Philips Hue Go light, so I've got lots to say, so it's time to listen up to make your own opinions. Straight out the gate, I need to go back and correct something I said. I made a sarcastic comment saying surely it won't need its own app, and lo and behold, yes it does. So now, as you can see on my phone, I've got 3 Philips Hue apps. The first one is the general Hue app that controls the lights in general. The second one is for the Philips Sync light, and the third one is for Hue Bluetooth devices, which of course this is a Bluetooth device, so it really needs its own separate app, which makes sense because if you're taking this out camping, it's out and about, you're not going to have a network signal. So the phone connects to this via Bluetooth so you can operate it remotely. So it does make sense, but surely this could have all been integrated into one app. Come on, Philips, surely. To clear up any confusion, you can use the normal Hue app to control this whilst you're in your household and whilst you're within the network, and absolutely fine. And if it's plugged in, you know, it's all going to be good. And you can control it wirelessly via the first app, you know, again, if you're in your household. However, if you're out and about, you're going to need that Bluetooth app. So this is the Bluetooth app. It looks absolutely identical to the normal Hue app, you know, and there is an option, I think, to integrate them all into one, but I really don't want to press it and integrate it all into one just in case it doesn't work. So when you start up the app, it'll automatically look for a Bluetooth device. It's found it. There it is. So we can turn the light on, click, and therefore it lights up. So the colour's going to go all weird on the video, but nonetheless, hopefully you can see what's going on as I flick between the two light sources. So it's standard Hue app. You can obviously change the brightness, of course. So that's not max brightness at the moment, although it's messing up the camera shot. Oh my goodness. So let's try and get it max brightness. Hopefully you can see that's a little bit brighter. I'm dropping it down a little bit there. Yeah, so apologies for all the lighting. I ain't great at getting this to work as it shows. So other things it can do is obviously it's got different scenes, just like a normal Hue app. Loads of different scenes there, and also it's got itself the color wheel, so you can mess around with the color wheel to your heart's content, so you can hopefully see it changing colors as we go around. All of it, you know, works exactly as you expect with the Hue Sync light, although from looking at the video footage it seems like a lot of it turns to be white. It's not, it's just the camera not focusing particularly well on the color. If I click that, ooh, ambient blue, but obviously it darkens everything else, but you get the idea. Let me turn the light off so we can continue the review here. So it does all integrate with the A and Google and Siri, so it all, you know, integrates in that regard, which is absolutely fine. In terms of the brightness, you know, one of the concerns I had was how bright would this be when it's not plugged in? Because of course, when it's plugged in, it says it's even brighter than what it is. But for me, and when it's unplugged and outside and inside, it's really bright enough as it is. It goes plenty bright. So I was using it out in the garden the other day, you know, when the lights were going down. I've got another review about something coming up, which I'll talk about that. But I was using it outside and it was very, very bright. Had to lower the brightness down, you know, just to get a comfortable setting. So it does go exceptionally bright even when it's not plugged in. But again, that's one of the features about the 2.0 that the 1.0 simply didn't have, the brightness. In terms of the battery life, you know, I have no issues with the battery life at all. I had it on for probably 5 or 6 hours outside. Granted, it wasn't on max brightness or anything like that. It was changing different colours and changing brightness, but the battery seemed to last a treat. Again, another advantage about the 2.0 over the 1.0 is the battery life on this is meant to be superb, and I've got nothing but positive things to say about that. You know, granted, I haven't run it completely straight, I haven't run it completely flat, but I haven't needed to, and I think that speaks volumes for itself. It's got enough battery to last, you know, as long as you're probably going to need it. A good night's worth of entertainment, it will absolutely last fine. Only real negative I can talk about in regards to this is I still don't think the placement of that socket's, you know, in a good position, because when that's plugged in, it's kind of like a U-bend socket. It doesn't sit ultra, you know, smooth and flush with that plugged in. If you can imagine the sockets there, it's still on the floor. I think, you know, Philips needs to do a little bit more about thinking where that socket needs to go in the future. Me personally, I'll be tempted to put it in the back and perhaps move the button to one side or the other, but that's just me personally. Last thing I need to show you is that magic button on the back. So if you press it once, it'll turn back on. If you tap it and press it once, it will cycle through the different types of whites. So it's very difficult to come through the camera because I don't think the camera's very good at picking up this, but that's bright white. That's the night light, which is meant to have the 24-hour life, battery life. Bright light cycles all the way through. If you press and hold it for 2 seconds, it turns itself onto standby mode, which means it will react to the app with no problems. If you press and hold the button for 10 seconds, it turns it off completely for battery saving mode to get the maximum battery life if you're not going to be using it. The other one is if you double tap and hold, it will cycle through different colours. So there's a bit of green, it's going through to the orange, through to the red. So you can choose your colour without needing the app, which I think is quite a nice touch. So let's turn it off. And I think it's time to summarise and give my final thoughts. So what are my final thoughts? Well, overall, I think it's a very versatile light. I love the way you can use it plugged in, but also use it remote. I think the battery life is exceptional from what I've seen. The choices of colours is out of this world. It really is a portable Hue light. And I know that makes, you know, sounds funny, but it says it on the box. It does that job, which I can't fault it for there. I think if you're buying this for a light to go inside your house or wide up, you'll absolutely be chuffed with it. If you're buying it for a portable light as well, I think you'll be even more happy with it. The only negative really is that annoying socket placement. I think Philips need to look at that, but really, is it a deal breaker? Absolutely not. In terms of the price, it's a bit steep if you ask me. $69.99 I think it is. It's sometimes on offer, but I've not seen an offer for a long time. It depends. If you're in the Philips infrastructure, it's one for you. If you want a nice bit of tech to show off and be fancy with, it surely does the job of that one. My final review, it wouldn't be a review without the thumbs up rating, so what have we got for this one? It's going to be a 1.5 thumbs up. 1.5, you say, you just said it was brilliant, the greatest thing ever. Yeah, I do think it's good. However, for me, it's still a bit steep for the price. It's why half that thumb has to come off. So I'm going to draw the review to a close. A big thank you to everybody that's commented on any of my videos in the past. If you've got any questions or comments on this one, please post it down below. I do read and answer and reply to every comment. It means the world to me to think that people are taking their time to post things. I've had some really positive comments recently, which really, it helps support me and keeps me driving forward to make more and more videos. Thumbs up the video if you've enjoyed this. And if you have to be one of those people that thumbs down the video, please post a comment, give an explanation, give me some guidance, give me some support. It's way better to be positive instead of negative, so take that negative and turn it into a positive. It'll mean more to me that way. I want to give a huge shout out to all the people that have subscribed to my channel. I think I'm at 13 now, and I can hear some of you sniggering behind your computer screens. Only 13 subscribers. It doesn't really matter to me. The fact that 13 people actually took the time and the effort to subscribe, and they actually enjoy my content enough, means the absolute world to me. And like I said in my last video, if I could find each and every one of you 13 people, I would shake your hands and buy you a can of Coke. So don't be shy. Press that subscribe button and be one of the Ichiban Productions crew. You'll want to join this clique. It's a clique you want to be a part of. It also lets you know when I've got new videos coming out. I've got big things planned. Well, big things, I mean, I'm going to steal my other half's ring light to make sure I've got better lighting coming up. I've also found a cheeky new video editor that I'm going to give it a go, so hopefully the video should be a bit slicker moving forward. Oh, and that's enough talking from me. I'll see you next time, so you know what's coming up next. Look after yourself, take care of the people around you, and most importantly, stay out of trouble.